Oh, nice. Hi, Troy. Man, Sonic isn't even here and he's already banned. Oh no. Anyways, there's Sonic. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna restart this music so it lasts the entire time. There we go. I got a text notification that said I was banned. Oh, I didn't even update the stream information either, because that doesn't matter. Whatever. Hey, Victorian! Can't read all of it together. Victorian Hermit. Here, I'm just gonna take this screen off because there's no point in just like, hi. How's everybody going? Like Camden likes to say. Welcome to another woo-woo session. How's everybody doing tonight? I've been writing my book. I keep going back and like editing it, and like every time I read through it, I'm like, oh god, you misspelled that. What is this? I keep going back and doing that. And then the guys have been recording lead guitars, which is going along fantastic. I'm very proud of all of us, and I get ready to go to the studio in just a few days to do the final vocals for the new album. Isn't that crazy? Came for 7K, stayed for the woo. Woo! Thank you. Planning a mandate with Dan Wilson. Yeah, what's happening with that? It matters. We better get some Queen shredding tonight, right? I'm gonna shred my brain tonight for y'all. The things that I have researched. Hi, Dad. Amanda, thank you so much. 6 months. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. Right back at you. Hello, son. You have no sound. Hi, Mama. Welcome. I feel like, how long really? Since Dan is on the Avatar Flesh God tour, we gotta plan what we're gonna eat. I mean, that's important. You're speaking my language. What are we eating? I'm not even there and I'm excited. Tell me the best options. I'm not there, but I want to know. Okay, let me look. Baby! I love it! Look at, it's a Van Gogh kitty. I love it. Ooh, good thing I had this. I just like break my phone live on stream. I don't need it. It's what was lost. Aww. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. So there's an amazing brisket place right outside of the venue. Hell yeah. Let's go. What's the name of the venue? I gotta know this. This is important information. You're gonna have to also probably remind me when I'm there. Like, you remember that brisket I told you about? Yeah, that is my rock. Yeah, I love it. Aww. Oh. Shh. We're not gonna talk about anything to do with ankles or legs here. No. the channel points work? I don't know if they did. Edgecraft, nice. No feet talk. What about burgers, though? Hey, Meta Girl. I don't know if the channel points are working. Can you guys tell me, yay, nay, what's happening? Waffle Champion. I mean, that just sounds like a really cool name. Waffle Champion. I want to be a Waffle Champion. They're not popping up on the screen? Okay. It's always me that has the technical difficulties. I'm sorry. So, you can do it! I don't remember what the freak show one is, so I guess I'm just gonna reenact stuff for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, thank y'all for being here. What you're looking at over here is the United States birth chart. There's a couple discrepancies in the birth time of the United States, and so I may swap back and forth between the timing, because some people say that Cancer should be the rising sign, and other people say Sagittarius. They both make sense. So I have swapped back and forth between the two of them, trying to see how they talk. And the reason why is because I feel kind of led to read the upcoming energy. And while I'm also reading the upcoming energy, if you feel like you are associated with any of the signs that I'm talking about, you could maybe listen a little deeper for that. But this is more of like an educational thing, and also in no way, shape, or form am I saying that I know anything to be of truth or fact. When I'm talking about this stuff, this is hypothetical. So sometimes the things that I talk about seem to be accurate, sometimes I'm not sure, but my goal is to kind of just look at what I'm looking at and inform you on I did my noodles and stuff like that, inform you on what I've discovered while asking the questions that I have landed on. And I've watched a lot of astrologers talking about this, and I just thought I would research it, write down things that seemed important, and then I would relay them to you. Have an off day in OKC and I will find you, right? Hell yeah, let's do it. I wasn't born in the USA. No, it's okay. You live here. Don't you live here now, though? It doesn't really matter. But you weren't born in the States either. See, that's where the thing is like, I think they were saying that Canada is a Cancerian nation also. So I'm not sure. It's based on birth time, and that's where we don't have a specific birth time for the places, right? Some of them were founded before they even paid attention to time, right? They paid attention to the day, but they didn't pay attention to specifics in the time. Hey, hi Jim, drive safe. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. How dare you both? How dare the Canadians be born in their province? Hey, the Osirians, they're Canadians though, you know. I don't know why they're kind of from Wisconsin now, though. Okay, so the name I gave this reading is called The Ghost of 1776. And I have been studying the phenomenon of the Mars and Uranus conjunctions in Gemini. So there is Uranus, it's at 8 degrees, and this chart is pushing Mars into Cancer, but it's still showing in the energy of Gemini, which the funny thing about Mars in Cancer is it has an energy where it kind of acts kind of passive aggressive and or emotionally outburst type of energy. So I'm going to consider that because it's shoved into Cancer. Also, the 8th house is the house of trauma, a collective trauma, right? Mars being in the 8th house is a pretty brutal one. It is of a home or a homeland, right? Of a particular nation. She said Uranus. There's a debate. Uranus? I've heard a lot of people say Uranus because it was his name. And I've heard a lot of people say Uranus, which, bum. So I'm going to go with Uranus. Tomato. I like Uranus. Because it was her duty. Okay. So, Uranus in Gemini meets Mars, or Mars meets Uranus. Technically, every 2 years it will come around and have a little dance. Now, Uranus is in a sign mostly for about 7 years, but it's broken up between retrogrades, in between going in of the sign and out of the sign. So, the energy of us for the next 7 years experiencing the god of war with Uranus, which is the great disruptor, the one that's gonna give us all left field turns constantly and surprises. Uranus meets the burger planet. Yes! Jupiter would be actually the burger planet, I think, to me, because of the, Uranus definitely gets some in and out, lol. Wow. Okay, so what I wrote down was volatile innovation, because Mars is very volatile, especially in the Cancer sign. It's like explosions. You would say like an earthquake, which would be Uranus, and Mars would be the volcano exploding, kind of things like that. Or it can be sudden technology jumps and leaps out of, Uranus explodes. Let's hope not. But you know what I mean? Like, it just like suddenly out of nowhere in the sign of Gemini, which is known as the energy of communication, right? It's ruled by Mercury, which is, news, information, letters, talking, news, media, just me talking at you is a Mercury kind of energy. Burger volcano. Okay. So sometimes it also can mean fractured communications. When something, Mars is a sword, cuts off communication suddenly, Uranus. The United States has this conjunction natally. It's in its birth chart, the Sibley chart, which is what we're looking at. We're looking at the birth chart of the United States. So Uranus and Mars are both in Gemini. It doesn't matter, especially in Vedic astrology, how many degrees apart they are. If they're in the same sign, they're considered in conjunction. There's an incoming energy, there's the intensity, and then there's the waning. So that energy, regardless, is in the sign, so therefore they're considered in conjunction. And the closer they get to each other, the more volatile it gets, the more unstable it would become. The cloudy with a chance of burgers. Lol, that'd be funny. Okay. So this conjunction is a crisis point, and it's also a defining characteristic of the country's identity. Now, the reason why there's a huge debate over where it is, whether it's in the 7th house, which is our open enemies, which, you know, in the United States, that would be important, but it would also be the people that we work closest to. Or if we flip the chart, it would end up in the 12th house, which would be Cancer rising. So either the United States has unstable partnerships that change and shift very quickly and erratically and permanently, and also their open enemies could be very volatile and use excessive force and sudden surprise, which that has happened. Or if we move it to the 12th house, is considered hidden enemies, which means that the energy of not always being aware, being taken by surprise. The 12th house is also considered the house of self-sabotage, which means that sometimes we can be prone to making fast, quick decisions that are both like an epiphany state, like I need to do this right now, or it's I did this without thinking and now I've caused a butterfly effect of some sort. So both of them sound correct. One of the things that I did notice, Leseth, or Lesath, however you want to say it, it's in direct opposition of Mars. So Mars rules over Aries, but it also rules over Scorpio. And Leseth is considered a star, or it might be an asteroid. I think it's an actual fixed star, excuse me. But in its opposition, it's kind of like represents the poison. So because Mars is in the 8th house, sometimes we're unaware of something. Or sometimes, you know, like for example, it can be considered the stinger of the scorpion, which would be the end of Scorpio, and its blunt, permanent strikes in a way, which makes sense. And then Uranus at the 8 degree. So Uranus being at 8 degrees has a lot to do with karma. 8 degrees is what we do comes back to you kind of energy. It's also considered the 8th house, the sudden things that we experience as a collective under the energy of Cancer that is not always felt wonderfully, but sometimes it causes an energy of rebellion, which is what caused the 1776, or excuse me, not 1776, it was the Civil War, 1861 energy. So now the funny thing is that where Uranus is, I'm pointing at it with my pencil. It'll help, I promise. Okay, so sorry. All right, so Uranus is at 8 degrees and 55 seconds in 1776. Now, during the Civil War, Uranus was at 9 degrees, 1 minute. So barely a degree away. It's minutes away from its thing. So there's something about the 8th and 9th degree of Gemini that is very sensitive. So paying attention to when Uranus gets to that degree might be super important. Now, one of the things that I found interesting is that the 3rd degree of Gemini is important in some of the charts. When Uranus comes into the 3rd degree, that triggers something about this energy. It could be sudden communications, because 3 is also to do with is it 98? You're funny. It can be sudden communications. It can be sudden discoveries in ways to. Could also be something to do with electricity, because Uranus is the planet of lightning, which creates, lightning is electricity. So then we had the Revolutionary War in 1776. The U.S. was born under this conjunction as Mars moved through Gemini towards Uranus. The Declaration of Independence was drafted, signed July 4th, 1776. And they believe it was at 5:10 in the afternoon. And it was in late Gemini, which late Gemini is not within, the first few decans. So there it is. And what was it? Chiron. Where's my Chiron? Okay. So Chiron was in Aries, as it is right now, which is unique, that it's kind of triggering the same energy. That's why I've given it the ghost of 1776. There's kind of like a callback to that. Gemini is the sign of the pen, the thing I tried to with. I'm not just being an anus. Wow, Troy, you're on a roll. I wish I had a badum-chish for you, a little tiny drum set. I got a drummer in the other room, though. Maybe I can make Keith come in and badum-chish, yeah. So there's something about the callback of what's happening right now in that area. And what is happening directly right now in this time was happening for a lot of countries. Like, this time is like an echo. They always say that, I hope the new album is about this. Yeah? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Can't say nothing. I can't say nothing, bro. So it's associated with the pen, and Uranus is sudden shocks or events, often referred to as the lightning. This area was about using pamphlets, letters, and declarations, which is very Gemini, to spark a radical break, Uranus, from the old guard or crown. So when that comes up, the first thing I think is something important happening with England also will occur at this time. Clearly within the E-files, there's been some news and weirdness about that. But normally, directly after eclipses, we'll see something happening with one of the royals. So that could have been it, because it happened right at, I can't remember exactly the date that happened, but the eclipse happened February 2nd. The solar eclipse happened. So by that time, the triangle... Oh, what? Bum. I can't read it. I'm sorry. Troy. Yes. So anyway, yeah, something to do with the royals may come up. And then so we talk about the miracle. Wow, words. Yeah. You guys came here to watch me read terribly at you. You're welcome. Okay. So the American Civil War in 1861, Mars was at 0 degrees and 59 minutes. The American Civil War. Now, with everything that's happening, that seems hot and fresh and very important. Mars is in the pileup in Aries down here. Shortly, within a few hours, Mars will be entering Aries. So that's about maybe a month or two of Mars in this area, and we also have the huge conjunction of all the planets that's taking place in Aries. So that seems like a big cluster happening, an event. And then it'll be July when the energy of, I think, Mars going into Gemini. I'll double check, but I can't remember. I have too many things in my brain. We just came to see you. Thank you for being here. I came here to learn trivia. Sorry. All right. So, again, Uranus is at 9 minutes. And then Mercury, where was Mercury? So Mercury is, I only wrote 1913. So I'm not sure if Mercury was in the same spot, because I didn't write it down, because that would make sense. Anyway, Gemini is the sign of the twins, which may symbolize a house divided. Now the funny thing is I do videos like this and I release them on my YouTube. So I've done a couple of videos where I've had callbacks to some of the videos that I did, and one of the most recent ones, I might have wrote it down. Might have written it down. Welcome to my scattered brain. I hope you guys really like this. I don't know. I wrote it down somewhere. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I wrote about something last year. Watch my YouTube, it's on there. But I just posted another video today because I did a card shuffle a few days ago, and India came out so many times. I have a world cartomancy deck that shows like major places throughout the world, and in that reading I had India come out all the time. And then doing my studies, I learned that Iran and India used to be one nation, and then it became a nation warring between brothers, which means it's a divided nation, which made me think, okay, something about the Gemini energy was important. It may manifest as a fracture, a brother against brother, which is Iran and India. So in my opinion, something about India is going to get triggered shortly. And I mean, my name is Jon Snow. I'm just saying, this is just the stuff that I discovered. I came here to make fun of Zodic. Ban me. That's been me. Oh, wow, I can read well. Anyway, though the positives were massive leaps in communication, specifically the telegraph, which changed how war was managed and communicated throughout in real time. So up at the top, I wrote dates of significance. If you guys want to write these down to just kind of like pay attention to see if anything, because it's not always what happens out in the world, sometimes what happens personally in our lives. There's like a 3 days grace on each side sometimes when you're giving specific dates. So if you guys just want to write these dates down for, shits and giggles. So we have April 25th through the 26th is when when Uranus enters Gemini, which begins the official 7-year cycle. He's banned for 420 minutes. Then we have July 4th, which is the birthday, and the chart return, I think it's the placement of Uranus, will be at 3 degrees. I'm not quite sure. I want to say yes. So anyways, that seems to come up as a critical date because it's the 250th birthday, which uniquely is also the Pluto return because it takes Pluto 250 years to go around. So there's it kind of, the area right at the end of Capricorn into Aquarius is where its return is. So as you can see down here, it's suggesting that it's 27 degrees and it's very close to the south node. So Pluto is going to be coming back into conjunction with the South Node shortly. So there's this weird, even though everything's not exactly the same as it was, all of the alignments are almost like delayed, one right after another. It's not fair that Zodic has a shorter band. That was Painty and Minnie. You'll have to take it up with them. And then also August 2026, the trine to Pluto. It's considered a super angle and also a solution, which is nice. Hopefully we can come to a solution. Toast! Oh my God, it's Toast. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Jim. Welcome back. So we're talking about history. If you're not a fan of history, I'm sorry, but that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the birthday of the United States and astrologically, what history has proven astrologically, and I named it the Ghost of 1776. Okay, so we may have a solution also in a technological breakthrough. So as I was doing this, I kind of discovered some really unique things. So I hope you have time to hang out. I don't know how long it's going to take me to read through this because squirrel brain and trying to talk to you at the same time. But there's some really interesting things, but I'm also recording it. So I'll post it to my YouTube page. So if for any reason you have to leave, I will be posting this on my my YouTube account. So if you want to just listen to this like a podcast later, you're welcome to. I love history. Thank you. I know. Thank you for being here, Toast. I really missed you. Thank you for being here. I'm kind of falling down a wormhole, and I just kind of kept going. So I look forward to giving you guys all the weirdness that I found. The next date that I thought was important was November 2026. Now, November is always good politically. I lie, it's not good, but you know what I mean. Anyways, that's when Uranus starts to retrograde, and maybe into like instigating some chaos, which seems timely, right? Like, of course it would be then when Uranus is going to retrograde and things would just become really wonky and weird. That makes sense. I know, I look forward to seeing you too. Yeah, the Blind Guardian tour was super awesome. It was, it was a good time. They made me feel so special on the last show. Man, I could have cried. Uranus causes chaos. You are learning. You will know some stuff and some things. You know, at least, you know, I can't take credit for anything that I'm giving you because I found it from somebody else, right? I also can't remember every single person that I found stuff from, and I also just scour the internet looking for information so I can come together with all this. So none of this is, I guess it's my original way of putting it together, but I can't claim genius in discovering some of these. But the way in which I found it, I will claim my own pattern and my own weirdness of, discovery. Oh, hibernation happens. It's important. Okay, so where did I go? Okay, so Mars and Uranus normally mean a breakthrough, an instantaneous breakthrough. It can mean instant liberation from patterns that we have been stuck in. I would say we've been stuck in a few patterns that we could afford to rid ourselves from, in my opinion. I was working. World War II and the atomic bomb. Not our favorite thing to talk about, but we have to. So that was in 1945. Uranus was in Gemini from 1941 to 1949. Mars was at the 9 degrees. So, again, that trigger point of the 8 to 9 degrees of Gemini is a very sensitive degree. Something about that is just a breaking point in some kind of way. Something which is like permanent change. There is no going back between that degree. So I did mark it in my book that I will read from in a little bit, probably terribly. You're welcome. And then Uranus, it had been there for a few years, ended up at 16 degrees and 31 minutes. And I don't remember, it could be somewhere in between 9, I can't remember what sign it was, but Pluto was at the 9th degree. So there was this talking, the ascendant for the World War, and the atomic bomb was at 8 degrees. So it's, again, there's like, if you look at a chart and you see the same number over and over again, that area gets triggered a lot. Like, one thing that I can see right now is the sun's at 13, Rigel is at 13, which is one of the fixed stars, and I think that, 16 degrees was also in the other chart. So something about 13 is also a big number. But anyway, so little boy in Hiroshima, August 6th, 1945, took place when Uranus and Mars were in conjunction in the very last degrees of Gemini. And so there's something about that when they say last degrees, it's like the very end of Gemini, so it's putting it at 15 degrees. Now 15 degrees kind of seems like a midpoint to me, but for whatever reason, after 15 degrees, it becomes like super potent. Hi! I'm sorry, I have to read it I can't read it for whatever reason. My eyes are blurry from that far away. In your EYSHEUN. Nazra! Nazra! I love you. I'm sorry I watched your name. Love you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay. So the 15 degrees in Uranian astrology is considered a very potent, very public degree. So when we're considering how visible it is to the world, when we think about the Hiroshima event, that was very public. It was when video cameras and video footage were finally being able to be witnessed by a grand collective, anybody who had a TV and was able to watch the news. That was the first time an entire collective witnessed a traumatic event, right? Visually, right? So, and these two planets, Mars and Uranus, were within a tight conjunction, which was 1 to 3 degrees away from each other. They were in very close conjunction. So the ultimate expression of Uranus: uranium splitting the atom, and Mars warfare in the sign of the technical data, aka the messenger. It ended the war abruptly, which is very Uranian, but birthed the Cold War and the Information War. Now, again, Gemini is information, Mercury is the messenger. So there is a theme around this time where information becomes manipulated and becomes its own kind of war. The war between the truth and the lie, the information of truth versus deception, different things like that. So that was when you were fed information and you couldn't see it on your own. So you probably more often than not were inclined to believe it, because why would they lie to you, right? Why would they manipulate the truth in any way, shape, or form? So July 4th, 2026, 3 degrees Gemini is where Uranus is supposedly to fall. It falls exactly on the US 250th anniversary, aka the Pluto return, which I've already said. Now, June 23rd, 2028, it will be at 11 degrees, which is considered the Act 2 of the 2026 themes. And June 15, 2030, it'll be at 19 degrees, which becomes the new normal, the new tech or social revolution, different ways in which we will excel. Like, for example, do you remember when like AI came out? And then like suddenly it was everywhere. Everybody was using it. Everybody was doing the funny like images with all the multiple fingers and stuff. And then all of a sudden Freddie Mercury was singing a song that he never sang because you could change it with AI. Like out of nowhere, it just exploded within a 2-year increment. Everybody was using it. It could be something like that, but bigger. And it'll be universal. Everybody will be using it. Now, June 6th, 2032, at 26 degrees, is considered the final burst before something happens. So the energy of freedom, rebellion, to change, to not go back, to not repeat, to liberate oneself from something, is something that would happen. So the idea of wherever Uranus was in our birth chart, or for example, the United States chart, is trying to change that area almost to where we don't even recognize it anymore. And in this chart, it suggests that it's in how we work with relationships, how we work with people, how we work with our enemies, you know, how we do legal battles, different things like that. Now, if it's considering the other chart that is a possibility, which I'll put up here, all you have to do, a lot of people make the mistake of doing this, which ends up unique anyway. It changes it to where Uranus becomes in the 12th house, which sometimes it's a place where we are unconscious of our own actions. We are, it's, you know, it can be considered a house of isolation in some kind of way, which, you know, if we push our relationships too far away, we could find ourselves in a place of isolation, a lack of, you know, something. So in the 12th house sometimes is we're unconscious of our thoughts and our patterns in some kind of way until we have an epiphany. Something happens and we become awoken to something. It is the 12th house and the 8th house have a lot to do with awakenings. Taking notes. Good. Take notes. I'm hoping I'm helpful. Hi, Cam. Yeah, yes, Nashira, my sweet baby. Her sweet baby. The channel points don't work, so they're listening to my cool music and me blab. Oh, excuse me. And say words badly. And say bird. And uniquely, July 4th at 3 degrees, it'll be on my sun, which means that might be an important time. So I'm going to pay attention to that energy of Uranus making a conjunction to my sun to see what happens in my life. You know, that'll be fun. Hopefully. Hopefully. Thanks, Mom. Weaponized information. Definitely AI. Deep fakes or decentralized networks. Sudden breaks. A match thrown into a powder keg. That makes sense. Religion and spirituality used as a weapon of confusion. That is something I would love to encourage everybody, that no matter what you see, no matter who says it, no matter what, I'm encouraging you to stop and think and ask yourself, if AI can make something look so believably true and anybody can generate it, how do I know what's real? Like right now, they have this thing where you can call people and you can impose a completely different face over yourself. And the only way to tell if the person is really the person is they tell you to hold 3 fingers up in front of your face and do this to make sure that there's no weird shifting that happens. As the next few months and the next 2 weeks could be super important, just make sure to not instantly believe whatever it is that you see. Practice discernment, because there is the philosophy that, like for example, by the time we had the iPhones, they had existed for a very long time. So one of the theories is that not everything that we are seeing is actually reality and is actually true. How much of what we have been shown over the past few years is actually real? The ability to manipulate a grand collective information war. That is my only suggestion. Exercise discernment, because based on reoccurring, we never experience the same thing twice. It's the Fibonacci spiral. We're constantly going around it. We're viewing it from a different way, still ending up in the same point. Give yourself space. If it and the way you would know is, does it upset me? Does something about this just cause so much energy within me? Allow yourself to feel it, but just practice discernment and ask yourself, what is true and what is not? Because there can be, something can look so real and not be, and that is scary. What I'm going to do really quick is, I'm going to put here. Okay, so in astrology, they do this thing where if something lands at a degree, especially after it's a certain amount of minutes over, they read the next passage. For me, I'm just going to read both of them, because to me, there's something about each that is important. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the 3rd degree in Gemini. Thank you. I'm trying to be interesting. Thank you for being here down my wormhole of this is what I found information. The 3rd degree of Gemini, this is a symbol of self-confidence and authority which comes to a man through social positions and wealth, and of his ability to bring all of his capabilities to some graceful and exquisite self-expression. Now, self-expression is very Uranus. I am who I am, and that's who I am, and I'm not going to conform. Here are the more exalted and immortal constants of everyday values, evidence as they are given a solid foundation in human achievement, or perceived through a concern for them by people in general. The key word is luxury. When positive, the degree is a creative stability which enables each individual to participate in a full gamut of satisfactions developed and cherished by his fellows as well as himself. And when negative, complete selfishness and a joy of lording it over others. That sounds very familiar. So when Uranus reaches 3 degrees, we will know what energy we're leaning into if, for example, the country does something positive for the people versus trying to exert power in some kind of way. And then, so we read the next one, which would be Gemini 4, which is holly and mistletoe, which refers to Christmas. This is a symbol of the maximum possibility of encouragement of human personality on the inner subject side, or of life's continual stimulus to every source of the imagination and spiritual appreciation. Here is universal richness, of experiencing through which man may. Man, I am the world's worst reader. You're welcome. Okay. Which may be the dignity of his and his order, and learn to share the magic of his own self-renewal on every occasion. He responds quickly and enthusiastically to frequent and cyclic manifestations. So quickly to cyclic manifestations. That means something's coming out of nowhere, which means the ability to manifest something out of nothing, which is essentially magic, which back in the day, doing something that, before the science had a word, it was considered magic. The key word is ritualization. When positive, the degree is a gift for the fellow participation in every rewarding expression of the individuality. Individuality, that is a Uranus energy. Uranus rules over everything that's weird, everything that breaks the norm, everything that does everything that you don't expect it to, and when it's negative, it's a complete obsession with superficialities. So those two energies seem super important. And then I'm going to read the last one, which is the 8th to 9th degree. All right, so the 8th, oh no, that's Sagittarius, excuse me. Okay. So Gemini at the 8th degree, the title of this is an industrial strike. I mean, damn. This is a symbol of the necessity that men act in his own that a man acts in his own interest whenever his general situation fails to provide him with the creative outlet he needs, or proves inadequate for his relations to his fellows. Implicit in the reverse symbolism is an emphasis on the instabilities of life and the dynamic for accomplishment, calling on the human spirit for constructive reorganization. There is here a dignity of a personality which may be exalted but never exploited. The key word is protest. When positive, the degree is undeviating self-assertiveness and a refusal to accept any lesser of the greater. And when the negative, a dissatisfaction with surrender rather than regrasp the self-potential. I know, right, Tess? Like, it's like, can't, That's why I was like, I'm going to show y'all what I found, because this is crazy. Okay. Now, Gemini at 9 degrees. A quiver filled with arrows. This is a symbol of extreme alertness in the interests and needs of the selfhood and the high competency in pursuing any and all practical ends in view. There is a basic emphasis on the right of man to make demands of his fellows, or to bring his service whatever may help him hold his place in the scheme of things, which could say, I will do anything to stay where I'm at. Here are the fruits of the self-discipline and training which equipped the individual with skills for which he will have continual use. The key word is preparation. When positive, the degree is unlimited personal capacity for rising to the issue of the moment on any level of experience. And when negative, overconfidence in quixotic notions. I don't know what that means. Quixotic. I don't even know if I said that right. Anyway, both of them seem super interesting to me, so I thought I would read those to you. Then what I did was I shuffled cards. I'm like, okay, now I've learned about the United States and all the weirdness and stuff, like not everything, but you know, generalized, you know, information. So I have this deck that has major, like, cities from all over the world. And what I said earlier was that when I was shuffling my cards for the last video I just posted, India came out a lot. And so I just thought, I want to see what possible places this could be referring to. So I shuffled the deck. And Mexico comes up. Specifically the Aztec pyramids. Now, the pyramids are associated with alien technology, which Uranus rules over. So I'm going to put this back to the PM so we can look at it from there. So Uranus is a symbol that can talk about spaceships. It refers to the heavens, everything above. And, you know, how many times is someone who saw an alien called crazy? Right? They're too far out there. And what are we always trying to do with aliens? Communicate with them. Right? What if we got an answer? I have a theory, though.
I think they're kitties. I think they're kitties. Because they're so cute and they're like, these dumb humans will feed us because we're cute. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. Thank you for the love bites.
Okay, so it comes under the Two of Wands. Sorry, I had a cat moment. So Two of Wands is normally, or Two of Spades, same difference, depending on what age you want to look at. So the card typically has a man who's holding the world in his hand. So to me, the imagery of that card alone shows me that this isn't just a one energy thing. It literally impacts the world. A nuclear event impacted the world, right? It's, you know, that area plus the rest of the world is still recovering from that event. So when I pulled up all these energies, I might have put... Give me 1 second, guys, sorry. Okay. Let me back up just a second. I have to do it in order because that would make sense, right? Okay. So, I got Washington. Washington came out. Right? And it's on the Four of Wands, which normally, or the Four of Clubs, which normally depicts a celebration. So what are we talking about? The birthday of the United States. So these are considered what's power centers or hot spots, we might call them. So Washington, D.C. is having its Uranus return. Washington represents the voice and the words, Gemini, of the system. So that's super important. I'm going to go back to it, but I keep going. I have to do the way that I wrote it because I'm bass-ackwards. Now, the Aztec is considered the ancient and the future access. Now, one of the things we might want to think about is the conjunction that we have coming up with all of the planets. Let me go to what's current now. Let me see, what date did I write down so I could do this. It was the 25th. I think I'm going to do 23 because that's what my brain just told me to do, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Do I have it right? 4/23/2006. Where is the moon though? This is wrong. 25. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to make sure. How many days back is that then? Alright, anyway, I'm gonna go to the Uranus-Venus conjunction. Anyway. The moon will be, at one point, all of them in Aries. The chart will be Libra rising. So anyway, Aries is considered the beginning. It is when, and also because we have Saturn there, we have, and Mars coming through there, it's the sudden breakthrough of something. So this energy of the pyramids often associated with the Sag-Gemini axis, which was the part that we're talking about, the United States energy, is often associated, it's called the axis of knowledge, and the pyramids are the stone calendars. This suggests that ancient wisdom or archaeology discoveries might light up or come back. You know, like for example, you know, like fashion always comes back. Something about history resulting sometimes maybe directly with Aztec pyramids or the pyramids of Egypt or any of the other pyramids that are around the world. Or something to do with the Back to the Future, where something goes back to the future, either energetically or really. We're hoping not that, but it could also be something as silly as Back to the Future, like the actual movie, could be something to do with some of the actors. Something could be significant on and around the 23rd to the 25th of April. Agra, India. Okay, that's what we're looking at now. My brain just swapped to a new thing. Welcome. It's like a ride for me too. Like, oh my goodness. Oh man, I can't stay long, but I love it. Well, thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you being here. And just so you know, if you can't watch everything today, I'm currently recording this, so I'll upload it on my YouTube so you can watch it when it's easier for you. But if you guys watch me on my YouTube, can you just interact with it and, you know, like and comment and stuff? Pretend like you like me. Come on, guys. Okay. So why did I write it so backwards, or did I put my cards in here wrong? Hold on, give me a second. I screwed up my cards. All right. Okay. India came out again. So that came out multiple times from a reading that I just posted, and it came out again in this asking questions about this. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. If you follow me on Instagram, there's a link underneath my description and it says Starshine Astro Tarot. If you click on that, or if you just go to YouTube and type in my actual name on Instagram into YouTube, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Maybe I could, I'll try to share it, but it's kind of hard. I have too many windows open trying to get to that right now. But anyway, so then India came up. The Jack of Wands is somebody who's very smart, very intellectually smart, but sometimes the thing I would think is has something up their sleeve. And India's been oddly quiet in all of this for a little bit. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate it. Hey, the scattered brain runs in the family. Yes, it does. Squirrel. the one thing that I found interesting was India and Aries were you know, the war nations. They used to be a family, and now they're two brothers fighting against each other, basically Cain and Abel, you could call it. So for me, this energy is often linked to Capricorn and Virgo, but its identity is deeply tied to the Gemini energy, the world's office and a tech hub. Home to the Taj Mahal represents monumental communications. This points to India taking a massive sudden lead in global information war, or information of the war, or information war. I don't know if that means that they may manipulate something. I don't know. Or just out of nowhere, India is stepping up to the plate, which means, you know, Mars going into Aries, as all those planets are there together, can sometimes symbolize someone younger taking over. Then one of the things that I wrote on here is that when I did all these cards, they added up to 70. Now 70 is a big number, and it rules over, you know, in numerology, 70, 7 plus 0 is 7. So then what are we looking at the 7th house? Each time, no matter what time I'm looking at it, the 7th house is having massive activity in it, right? So it is how we deal with others, how, you know, we deal with our open enemies, how we deal with, you know, things that are just and unjust, you know, different things like that. So 70 is considered the atomic number. Why? Why do I keep finding the word atomic? Why? In chemistry, the atomic number of ytterbium, ytterbium, probably said that horribly wrong, but the abbreviations on the table is YB. It is a rare earth element in the lanthanide series, used for fiber optics and certain laser technologies. Here's, you know, the conspiracy theory of Project Bluebeam, something being projected into something. That could be a thing, just energy. 70, or sometimes 72, Jewish scholars translated the Hebrew Bible into Greek in Alexandria. 70 was the standard number of the Council of Elders, or the total number of nations in the world. Psalms 90 mentions that the days of the human are 70 years and 10, making 70 a symbolic milestone, or a full and complete life. 70 represents a cycle repeating, currently on a global or universal scale. That's literally what we're having. It's not just in our community, it's in the world. In this chart, look, Uranus is 29 degrees and 53 minutes away, with the conjunction of Uranus, or with Venus in the 9th house, which is foreign lands, countries, the world, you know, when we learn something, the difference between learning grade school information and learning like real life, like things that change our future information, the house of God and the house of enlightenment in that kind of way. Ytterbium, again that Y word that I'm probably screwing up, is a rare metal used in atomic clocks. I wrote down tension testing transformation at 26 minutes. I don't know what I was referring to. Bridges. Oh, the video that I posted, okay, on my YouTube channel, Tensions Testing Transformation is the name of the video. At 26 minutes, I talk about bridges, Iran fighting with India, brothers fighting one another, and then I correlated it to the fact that Trump was now just threatening to blow up bridges. So that was in 2025 that I did that video. So if anybody's curious about watching that, it's there. Okay. Now that I've had my scatterbrain issue of going to the 70, now I have to go back. Man, I'm so scattered. I thought I had this in order, but I guess I didn't. This is interesting. Welcome to my brain. This is what it looks like. Thank you for being here, Nazra. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, this is Mama and Nashira, mother and daughter. If you want, you can watch the rest of this on YouTube. I'll be uploading it later. I know, aren't they? They are. They're adorable. They love each other so much. And then I found out the 5 of hearts. Sometimes this one, this one threw itself out. Wow, I sound so intelligent today, guys. The 5 of hearts sometimes is disappointment with, well, can I buy a cat?
No, but you can look at the kitties. I keep them. I like them. They like me.
This one is also the monument dug into the side of the mountain. So it's something hidden, which could talk about something hidden in mountains, mountain cities, something like that. Jordan, historically associated with the crossroads. Gemini is the sign of the crossroads. This may mean Jordan will be a key messenger or a diplomatic bridge in the Middle East during a volatile period. Well, it's sure enough a weird little area happening right now. Then we got China. China finally came through. And this one is Chongyang Palace. So 7 of hearts can sometimes mean emotional confusion. They need their own merch too. Right? I would love that. So the information superpowers is both China and Russia. So China and Beijing, and also Russia, these are the mirrors to the United States in the 250-year Pluto cycle. So Beijing, China, in Chinese astrology, the well corresponds to Gemini. This points to a sudden Uranian shift in how China handles its internal data, or its Great Firewall. That sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure. They are super strict on how even their citizens can even interact on the internet, let alone anybody from a different country trying to be there. So I feel like something to do with security in China might be important to pay attention to. Russia is often ruled by the Aquarian energy, which is where Pluto is currently right now, which is in a supportive trine to the Mars and Uranus conjunction in Gemini. Russia may move quickly with unexpected innovation of some sort, or they may insert themselves by surprise into something because it's in their somehow in their benefit. Now this is on the 9 of spades, or not spades, clubs, and also the 9 of wands, which can mean like it's a defense tactic of some sort. Now, the one thing that I thought was interesting is that Dubai came out. And I think yesterday they were thinking that Dubai may have acted within the war because there was a random missile that hit that wasn't necessarily from Iran, as far could be misinformation, but I heard that. But anyway, so insert Dubai, the UAE. United States Arab Energy, the ultimate Uranus and Gemini city. It was built at impossible speeds using high-tech innovation in a desert, which the energy of something being built inside of a mountain, if there is a anywhere to hide there, that seems plausible, because there's lots of mountains everywhere over there. Hi Optech, thank you for coming. How are you? It may suggest radical shift in global energy markets. And then it took me back to, oh no, here's continued Dubai. Hold on one second. Dubai continued. There may be an unveiling of a new electric way to power cities. That could be something to do with solar power, possibly. You're not late, don't worry about it. I'm actually recording this one, so if you miss it, I can actually I'm posting it on my YouTube page so you can watch it later. Thank you for being here. Late tech. And then we got Brazil came out. So Brazil is associated with Virgo, but it has a strong Gemini moon. It points to the lungs of the world because it's revolves around the Amazon. 77 minutes late, actually. Wow, Zach. He's being a manager up in here. And a potential viral explosion coming from South America, may be communication based. I thought of videos of something happening though when the word viral came. I'm hoping we don't have, you know, the beautiful trine between you know, I think it's Pluto and Saturn at some point. Those two were in conjunction when 2020 happened, so I'm hoping that there's not going to be some viral something like that again. And then we had the Old World, which refers to England. There we are. Ow. That wasn't funny. Okay. He's acting almost mod-like. Hey, sounds like a good job for Zodic if he wasn't getting banned every 5 seconds. Okay, so the Old World. England. London is traditionally ruled by Gemini. The Mars-Uranus conjunction lands in London's home sign, meaning the UK is in for a massive, sudden structural shakeup, likely involving their media, or the royals, which are already in the news, but there may be more to come, which I said that, or how they are communicating with the world. Now, the first, I think it was the Queen Elizabeth that just passed away. She was the first one to ever televise her life. She was the first royal to, I think, televise her wedding in some kind of way. I can't remember exactly all the things that she did, but she was like the first to do a lot of stuff when it came to media, and she would put out those messages all the time. Specifically, Christmas was a big deal for her. So there's something about, you know, the old world becoming the new world in some kind of way, in some type of action or movement. Don't tell Carnage about Zodmod. I love that. So did I write about the other ones? Hold on, guys. I think I may have. By getting excited, I have missed a few things. Anyway, so this may be a map of the electric grid for from the pyramids to Dubai to Beijing. These places may be illuminated, a shift from the Old West to a new global, decentralized or controlled by several locations, offices, or authorities. And then New Mexico came up. And then again, one more time, the United States came up. So the United States is going to be a big key player in all of this. So it's the United States. It would be something about New Mexico, which that seems valid. China, London, Brazil, Dubai, Russia, China, Jordan, India, and the Aztec pyramids in Washington, D.C. Those seem to be hot spots. We'll see. These cards seem to somehow always be very accurate for me, so I trust them. So I'm very curious to see what will come of that. I've noticed that sometimes my readings do have almost a year delay, so that's interesting. The other thing I noticed that I wrote down was the asteroid Psyche. Now, something about Psyche stood out to me and her place of prominence when I was reading the charts. And so I wrote down the soul's journey towards divine love and psychological integration. A sensor for vulnerability and perception of mental states and the human element. Now, one of the things that sometimes we don't consider or we don't notice anymore is that we're so used to seeing tragedies that we don't realize how it's affecting us subconsciously. And Psyche literally talks about our psyche, the sensitivity to what it is that we're all experiencing. So in the Uranian system, Psyche isn't just what you are aware of, but what we are most sensitive to in our environments. And she can represent the nervous system, often pointing to anticipation or holding one's breath. The feeling right before a storm breaks, like smelling rain or ozone. Now, that can be the energy of Uranus going into Gemini, what it's talking about. An explosion, Mars, isn't just happening in the streets or in the government. It's happening within the human mind. As above, so below. As without, so within. Learning to process high-speed data without having a mental breakdown. Which means that the more information that's going to come at us at lightning speed, we may need to sit down. We may need to take a break. And that's where, when I encourage you all to, when you see something, don't instantly allow yourself to believe it, even if it invokes a strong emotion in you. Validate the emotion, but make sure, could this in any way, shape, or form be trying to manipulate me or steer me into a think lane? And that's when Uranus in the energy of Gemini is the energy of two. Believe that there's always two perspectives. Believe that there's always two answers. There's always two ways. There's always something so that's the energy of the Two of Wands. We have the one that we are thinking, but we have to consider the other, whether we want to believe it and agree in it regardless. That's a very Gemini thing. I am a Gemini, and I do notice that I have the ability to witness a lot of people's perspectives and entertain them all, whether it's people's emotional perspectives or whatever it is. And I feel like sometimes that frustrates people because we could want someone to see it from our perspective and only our perspective, and when somebody has the ability to see it from every perspective, they make a better decision. So that is something Uranus entering Gemini is going to test you in, is wherever it is in your chart, it's going to test you in how quickly you can adapt to thinking differently in this area. How willing are you to change something? And being aware of our nervous system. Our mind is ruled by Mercury, even though it is in the domain of Mars, which that is going to be Mars conjunct Uranus in Gemini, in the area of our thoughts, right? So we do have to make sure that we're also caring about our nervous system and overstimulating ourselves. You know, when you have that much information coming out of every orifice at you, it's too much. And that's where it's going to ask you, sift through the garbage and find the two most valid points, even if they oppose each other, and find somewhere in the middle, because two things can be true at once, because two people, you know, like for example, to consider the point of view of Iran and to consider the perspective of their opposing parties, you know, like in a way, like I haven't looked at Iran's birth chart, but it would be amazing if Uranus was in Aries, because they are a country that you can take everything away from them and they will still find a way. And so it is a warring nation, but it is a warring nation to be alive, you know? So it's like you have to have some sort of understanding and admiration for the fight that they have, but their dogmas and their belief systems and what they believe to be true can be also, and it's a perspective, it can be warped, and it can cause them to constantly be a warring nation. Thank you for being here. You'll be able to see the rest of it on YouTube if you want to. The vulnerability of private thought. I can't remember, where is it? Learning to process high-speed data without having a mental breakdown. Vulnerability of private thought in places where everything is being uncovered. Now that, you know, the South Node being here in the 12th house, something to be from the past being uncovered, could literally be like an archaeology discovery of a lifetime, in my opinion. But the myth, Psyche, is the soul being reunited with love after a long trial, or to stop lifting. Stop lifting the system. Stop letting the system tell you how you feel, and start trusting your own mental perceptions. Awareness of the invisible. Mental fragility versus agility. To be shattered by news, or learning to adopt, to be shattered by news, or learning to adapt. Something about switchboards came up. I wrote that down, apparently. And then randomly I turned this sideways and wrote, July looks interesting. If you feel like you are losing your mind, you're not. You're just experiencing a bombardment of energy or information fatigue. Ground yourself often and don't forget to breathe, is what I wrote. So that is what I discovered when I was looking up all the information that's coming at us. And I thought it was unique, so I thought, well, like, why the heck not? Let's talk about it. Let's look at it. I have no idea if anything I said was valid or correct or anything like that, but I thought it was important when I was researching it.
What happened, Pumpkin? What happened? Something bad happened. You were scared yourself.
But yeah, so I thought that was interesting, so I decided we would talk about it. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, the Three of Spades, the energy of being able to see something from a higher perspective or farther away. To always consider 2 or more options at all times, and traveling. Obviously, all that energy and the events that are happening out there make you not always want to travel to certain areas. You know, now certain areas are hot spots. You know, I would always love to go to Egypt. You know, I even feel, you know, unnerved that seeing how far away Italy is from all of this. So, but yeah, this is my little investigative into the weirdness, and I hope you all enjoyed it. It was fun for me. I am, however, going to be getting off because I would like to eat now. So I thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel, Starshine Astro Tarot. If you want to support me there, I'd appreciate it. Watching the video to completion, liking and commenting is a lifeline for me. I'm currently existing in the nothingness, in the sphere of the YouTuber sphere. So I would appreciate some love and support there. Thanks for the stream, right? Karaoke. I'm working on it. I had a setup malfunction that has caused me to not be able to do that for a little while. So I'm planning on bringing it back, Zod. I promise. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, I'll upload this. If you guys want to support me, I'd appreciate it. And I'll talk to y'all later.